Good morning and welcome to this lecture. In previous lectures, we have seen sensible heat factor. After that, we have seen room sensible heat factor. Then we have solved few numericals related to room sensible heat factor. We have drawn baseline, we have drawn room sensible heat factor line. Now we will see another terminology which is called grand sensible heat factor. Okay, so what is this grand sensible heat factor? You have to again visualize the same diagram. I'll draw the diagram if you require. So we have outside air, then in between we have cooling coil. Here we are assuming that mixing is done before cooling. So here suppose mixing is done and here we have room, and then this air, some air is recirculated, some air is bypassed. So this is point number one is outside air, point number two is recirculated air, point number three is mixing, then point number four is cooling. Okay, after cooling. Okay, this is called apparatus, refrigeration or air conditioning apparatus. And temperature of this cooling coil, it is called apparatus temperature, apparatus dew point temperature. So suppose here you can see air is coming from outside. Now what are the sources of heat actually involved inside the room? If you consider at this location we have RSH, room sensible heat. Here the example is related to cooling. Okay, so this is cooling coil. Whatever coil I have shown, this is outside air, and then we have recirculation. So here inside the room, what type of heat we have? Room sensible heat and room latent heat, RLH. So RSH and RLH. Now here I'll read the statement. If the heat load includes the outdoor load in addition to room load, meaning we have room sensible heat plus we will consider outdoor load. Okay, meaning outside air is also coming to this coil. Then cooling coil is required to handle the grand total heat. Okay, so if you consider the cooling coil over here, this cooling coil has to handle, if you consider sensible heat, total sensible heat, it will handle room sensible heat plus outside air sensible heat. And if you consider latent heat being handled by this coil or apparatus, it will be room latent heat plus outside air latent heat. So that is called this grand total heat. So what is this factor? The sensible heat factor is referred to as grand sensible heat factor, and it is defined as ratio of total sensible heat to grand total heat. Okay, so here I have written the equation of grand sensible heat factor. It is total sensible heat upon total sensible heat plus total latent heat. So this will be equal to total sensible heat upon grand total heat. Now what is total sensible heat? It will be room sensible heat plus outside air sensible heat. Okay, and what is total latent heat? It is room latent heat plus outside air latent heat. Now how to calculate this outside air sensible heat and outside air latent heat, that we will see in the upcoming slide. Then what is this outside air sensible heat and outside air latent heat? It is heat of outside air that is not bypassed. Okay, so we are not considering here bypass and we are considering the total heat. Okay, so that is, if you consider outside air sensible heat, it will be sensible heat of outside air that is not bypassed. And when I say outside air latent heat, that will be latent heat of outside air that is not bypassed. Next we will see effective room sensible heat factor. Now understand here that when I say effective room sensible heat factor, here you can see a word room is there. But when you see grand sensible heat factor, here I am not using the word room. Okay, so this you have to keep in mind. Then effective room sensible heat factor. What is this? I'll explain you again with the help of diagram. Suppose this is outside air. We have a cooling coil over here. And then after that, a room is there. And some air is recirculated, some air is bypassed. So this is outside air 0.1, recirculated air 0.2, then 1 and 2 mix to give 0.3. Your assumption is mixing is done before the cooling coil. Then 0.4 is after the apparatus. Okay. Now, if you consider bypass factor, okay, here what will happen? Recirculated air is there. Okay, now 0.2 is called room design condition, meaning we design the air conditioning system to achieve 0.2. So if you consider the same air which is recirculated over here, that 0.2 air, it will not have any load effect on the cooling coil because we are circulating the same room design condition air. So which air will have the load effect on the cooling coil? It will be point number 1. So what we need to do here is whatever room sensible heat is there on this room, okay, there will be room sensible heat and then there will be room latent heat. So when I say room sensible heat factor, it will be room sensible heat upon room total heat, which is room sensible heat plus room latent heat. But when I say effective room sensible heat factor, that will be effective room sensible heat upon effective room total heat. Okay, now what is this? Here, as I have already discussed, this recirculated air, it will bypass. Okay, it will not be cooled because already it is at room design condition. Okay, so this point number 2, it will not form any load on the cooling coil because it is already at room design condition. Now outside air, it will have sensible heat and latent heat. But if you consider the cooling coil, some of the air bypasses the cooling coil. Okay, and that bypassed air, it will form the load in the room. Okay, so I'll read the definition of this. It is defined as ratio of effective room sensible heat to the effective room total heat. So the outside air which is mixed with return air, this is outside air at point number 1, which is mixed with return air, can be studied thermodynamically as independent entity. The bypass factor of outside air adds sensible heat and latent heat to the load of the room. So because of that, what will happen? Here you can see outside air is there, that some air will be bypassing the cooling coil. Okay, and that will add up to this load in the room. However, the bypass of return air has no effect as it is already at the room condition. We have discussed this. It is already at the room design condition, so return air doesn't have any effect on the load. Okay, so that is why we have to calculate effective room sensible heat factor. Now how to calculate this we will see. So here I have shown a psychrometric chart skeleton. We have point number 1 which is outside air conditions, point number 2 which are design conditions. Okay, so we will have two properties, psychrometric properties at point 1, so that we can draw point 1. We will have two psychrometric properties at point 2 so that we can mark point 2. Now from point 1, draw a line in vertically downward direction. From point 2, draw a horizontal line towards right. Wherever it intersects the vertical from point 1, that is point A. We have to read H1, HA and H2 enthalpy. Now what will be outside air sensible heat? Outside air sensible heat, it will be mass flow rate of dry air at point 1 into HA minus H2. So if you observe the diagram, A to 2 dry bulb temperature is changing. Okay, so HA minus H2, it will give us outside air sensible heat. Then when you consider outside air latent heat, okay, what is the equation? Mass flow rate of dry air at point 1 into H1 minus HA. Why H1 minus HA? Because dry bulb temperature of point 1 and point A, it is equal. Okay, and we are calculating outside air latent heat. So this is the equation. Now here, why we are writing m dot dA1 in both the equation? Because point 1 is which air? Outside air. Okay, and we are calculating which heat? Outside air sensible heat and outside air latent heat. That is why here we are considering mass flow rate of dry air at point 1 in both the equation. So now we will see the equation of effective room sensible heat factor. So effective room sensible heat factor is ERSH, effective room sensible heat, upon effective room sensible heat plus effective room latent heat. Now what is effective room sensible heat? It will be room sensible heat plus bypass factor into outside air sensible heat. So this is the total load, okay, effective load which is there in the room. Okay, room sensible heat is there plus whatever bypass air is there at the cooling coil, that is also forming sensible heat. Okay, so bypass factor into outside air sensible heat. Then effective room latent heat, it is room latent heat plus bypass factor into outside air latent heat. Now what is this? This part, second part, if you see, it is for ERSH. It is bypassed outside air load. Okay, in both the cases. Now if you compare this with the previous case, okay, what was that? Grand sensible heat factor. In grand sensible heat factor, when we write total sensible heat and total latent heat, here we are considering total heat, meaning room sensible heat plus outside air sensible heat. Here we are not considering bypass factor. And in total latent heat, we are considering room latent heat plus outside air latent heat. Okay, whereas in effective room sensible heat, this is related to room. Okay, effective room sensible heat. Okay, in that case, when we are writing effective room sensible heat factor, we are using ERSH and ERLH. So that will be ERSH is equal to room sensible heat plus bypass factor into outside air sensible heat, and ERLH, it will be equal to room latent heat plus bypass factor into outside air latent heat. Now we will see another method of calculating outside air sensible heat and outside air latent heat. This type of method you will find in many of the textbooks, but we are not going to follow this method. We are going to calculate outside air sensible heat and latent heat using this method in our lectures. Next, this diagram is very important. Now we are going to look to this diagram in a partial way. We are not going to cover this point 4 dash today. Okay, in next lecture we will see this point 4 dash. Okay, now here the example is given, mixing is done before cooling. Okay, so here you can see point 1 is there, which is outside or outdoor condition. Point 2 is there, which is room design condition. 1 and 2, this will be return air. Okay, point 2 is return air, point 1 is outside air. They will mix together to give point 3. After mixing, there is cooling coil. So 3 to C, coil ADP, this will be a line. Now we have to calculate room sensible heat factor, mark it on SHF scale, then join it with alignment circle, that is called baseline. Now draw parallel to this baseline passing through point 2 wherever it intersects saturation curve, that is room ADP temperature. Okay, now that line 2 to R, it is called RSHF line. And if you consider line 3 to C, that is called grand sensible heat factor line. Next, if you join point 2, which is room design condition, with coil ADP, that is called effective room sensible heat factor line. So now we have seen before room sensible heat factor line, which was 2 to R. Okay, we used to draw this 3C as well. Okay, that 3C line, we had not defined the term before, but that line is called grand sensible heat factor line. Then if you consider 2 to coil ADP, that is called effective room sensible heat factor line. Now one more thing I would like to mention over here, detailed analysis of this diagram, it will be done in next lecture. Okay, what is this 0.4 dash? Okay, because in next lecture we are going to solve one more numerical related to this type of topic. So in that case we will go in detail of this ER-SHF line. Okay, how we draw this line, what is this 0.4 dash? Okay, and some analysis is involved over here. Okay, so that analysis we will see in next lecture. So I'll start with the numericals. So we will solve this numerical. The room sensible and latent heat loads for an air conditioned space are 25 kilowatt and 5 kilowatt. So here you can see I have shown a room, and room sensible heat is 25 kilowatt and room latent heat is 5 kilowatt respectively. The room condition is 25 degrees Celsius dry bulb temperature and 50% relative humidity. So here I have shown room design condition or inside condition TD2 25 degrees Celsius and relative humidity RH2 50%. Then next, outdoor condition is 40 degrees Celsius dry bulb temperature. So TD1 is 40 degrees Celsius dry bulb temperature and RH1 is 50%. Next, the ventilation requirement, ventilation meaning 0.1, is such that on mass flow rate basis, very important statement, here it is written mass flow rate basis, okay, not volume flow rate basis. So be careful when you are using this percentage. Okay, this is given for mass flow rate basis. The ventilation requirement is such that on mass flow rate basis, 20% of fresh air is introduced and 80% of supply air is recirculated, meaning outside air is 20% and recirculated air is 80%. So what I can write down, 20% it mixes with 80%, at 0.3 we have 100%. Okay, so I can write down m dot dA1 is 20% of m dot dA3. Same thing I have written here, m dot dA1 is 20% of m dot dA3. Now why I am using m dot dA1 and not volume flow rate? Because here it is given in the question mass flow rate basis. Next, the bypass factor of cooling coil is 0.15. So here I have written bypass factor of cooling coil 0.15. You have to determine following things. Now here it is not given in the question whether mixing is done before cooling coil or after cooling coil. Okay, so here we are assuming that mixing is done before cooling coil. What is asked? Supply airflow rate. Okay, meaning we have to find 0.4 supply airflow rate. Then outside air sensible heat. So we have to calculate OASH. Then outside air latent heat, OALH. Then grand total heat, GTH. And after that, we have to find effective room sensible heat factor, ER-SHF. Okay, so we will solve this numerical. How to solve this numerical? We will see the overview first and then go in detail of each and every point step by step. Okay, so what we will do first, we have point number 1 data, two properties are there. We have two properties of point number 2. Okay, outside condition is 0.1 and room design condition is 0.2. So we can mark point 1 and point 2 on psychrometric chart. Then the mixing proportion is given using the length or dry bulb temperature. We can mark point number 3. Okay, so we'll go to the psychrometric chart. Okay, now in this psychrometric chart, again this psychrometric chart, it is valid for atmospheric condition. Pressure is 1.01325 bar. Then vertical lines are dry bulb temperature lines. Inclined lines, when they cut the saturation curve, here you can read wet bulb temperature. Same line if extended on this scale, you can read specific enthalpy. Right side horizontal, we have moisture content. It is also called humidity ratio. It is also called specific humidity omega. These are relative humidity curves, 10%, 20%, and last one is saturation curve where relative humidity is 100%. Now next, we can mark outside condition. Okay, then we can mark inside condition or room design condition. Then using mixing proportion, we can get point number 3. So I have marked point number 3 over here. Then what we can do, we have value of room sensible heat and room latent heat. So we can calculate room sensible heat factor. That factor we have to mark on sensible heat factor scale. Draw line joining RSHF value and alignment circle. Now alignment circle and point 2 are same in this numerical. Okay, that line is called baseline. Now we have to draw a line parallel to baseline passing through point 2. Wherever it intersects the saturation curve, that is point R, which is called room ADP. Now this line 2 to R, it is called RSHF line. Then what is the next step? Bypass factor is given in the question. What is value of bypass factor? Bypass factor is given as 0.15. So here we have to use trial and error method. So we have to draw line 3C in such a way that bypass factor is 0.15. So what is equation of bypass factor? I will write it down over here. Bypass factor, it is equal to 0.15 for this question. It is equal to length 4C upon length 3C. Okay, so this is 3 to C process. Now what will be bypass factor? It will be length 4C upon length 3C. So we have to draw line 3C in such a way that this length 4C upon length 3C will be approximately equal to 0.15. Now wherever this 3C and 2R intersect, there we will get point number 4, which is supply air condition. Okay, now after that, since here in the question ERSHF is asked, effective room sensible heat factor, we need to find outside air sensible heat. Okay, again grand total heat is also asked, so there also we require outside air sensible heat, outside air latent heat. Okay, so for that what we will do, from point 1 I have drawn a vertical in downward direction, and from 2 I have drawn a horizontal line towards right. Wherever they intersect, I have shown point A, and we have to read enthalpy of point 1, point A and point 2 to calculate outside air sensible heat using HA minus H2 into m dot dA1, and calculate outside air latent heat using m dot dA1 into H1 minus HA. So this is the overview of the numerical. Now in detail we will solve this numerical. Okay, so what is point number 1? Dry bulb temperature is 40 degrees Celsius and relative humidity is 50%. So 40 degrees Celsius, draw vertical, and relative humidity is 50%. Wherever these two intersect, we will get point number 1. Then point number 2, room design condition. Dry bulb temperature is 25. So this is 25 degrees Celsius dry bulb temperature and relative humidity is 50%. So alignment circle itself, it is room design condition point number 2. After marking point number 2, we require point number 3, mixing condition. So what we will do, we already have been given the mixing condition. Okay, m dot dA1 upon m dot dA3 is 0.2. So we'll see the equation what we have to write for this one. So if you consider m dot dA1 upon m dot dA3, observe this. For m dot dA1 we have to consider length 32 divided by m dot dA3. dA3 means point number 3. So we have to consider length 1 to 2. Okay, now length 1 to 2 we can read over here. Okay, keep your scale at 0.1 and 0.2 and read the distance 1 to 2. Okay, so now this distance depends on chart to chart. Okay, depending on the Xerox of the chart, that distance may vary, but 0.3 distance it will be same. Okay, finally. So I'll write down the value what I am getting, length value. So equation will be length 23 upon length 12. This is equal to 0.2. Now this length 12, I am getting this value as 10 centimeter. So from here I can calculate length 23, which is equal to 2 centimeter. So now what I have to do, I have to mark point number 3. So I'll write down the steps as well. So here first we marked 1 and 2. Then after getting the length 2 to 3, we have to mark 0.3. Okay, now distance 2, 3, it is 2 centimeter. So go to the psychrometric chart. From point 2 we have to draw. Okay, why? Because distance 2, 3 we have calculated. So 2, 3 is 2 centimeter. So we will get point number 3. Now once we get point number 3, we can calculate RSHF. Okay, so next step is we have to calculate room sensible heat factor. So room sensible heat factor, it will be room sensible heat upon room sensible heat plus room latent heat. So room sensible heat value, it is 25 and room latent heat is 5 kilowatt. So 25 divided by 25 plus 5. We will get room sensible heat factor as 0.833. Now what is the next step? Mark RSHF on SHF scale, join with alignment circle. This line is called which line? This line is called baseline. Now next, what we have to do? Draw a line parallel to baseline, passing through point 2. What is point 2? Point 2 is room design condition till saturation curve. Wherever it intersects saturation curve, that is point R. And this line is called RSHF line. Okay, now same thing I have done here. RSHF value, it is 0.833. So this is 0.8, this is 0.85. So 0.81, 82, 83, and approximately this is 0. Slightly ahead of this, 0.833. You have to join RSHF value with alignment circle. Okay, and draw a line. This line is baseline. Then draw parallel to this baseline passing through point 2. Wherever it cuts saturation curve, there we will get point R. This line 2 to R is called RSHF line. Now next step, what will be next step? We have to locate point 4. Locate point 4. How to do this? We have been given bypass factor. Okay, so bypass factor, already we have seen the equation. It is equal to length 4C upon length 3C. This value is equal to 0.15. Now what procedure here you have to follow? Now by trial and error, draw 3C such that bypass factor is equal to 0.15. Okay, so this will be iterative method. Okay, you have to draw a line 3C and calculate bypass factor. If you get 0.15, okay. Else, again, you will change the 3C line, change the slope, okay, and then check bypass factor again. Okay, this you have to continue till finally you get bypass factor approximately equal to 0.15. So here, if you go back to the psychrometric chart, I have done the same. I have drawn 3C line in such a way that length 4C upon length 3C, this is equal to bypass factor, okay, and that is equal to approximately 0.15. Okay, so we have completed the process on the psychrometric chart. Outside air 1, it mixes with recirculated air to give 0.3. Then 3 to C, we have cooling coil, and due to bypass factor you can see 0.4, it has not reached point C. Then 2 to R, we have RSHF line, okay, and in this case the intersection of 2R and 3C will give 0.4. Now if you consider different lines involved over here, 2 to R, this is called RSHF line. 3 to C, it is called grand sensible heat factor line, and if you join 2C, this is called effective room sensible heat factor line. Now after this, as I have told before, we have to find outside air sensible heat and outside air latent heat. So I have drawn a line in vertically downward direction from point 1 and towards right in horizontal direction from point 2. Intersection we will get point A. We have to read values of enthalpy of point 1, point A and point 2. So we will read that value now. So point 1, if you see the point 1 value, this is 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100. So enthalpy of point 1 is 100 kilojoule per kg of dry air. Then enthalpy of point A. Draw a line parallel to the given inclined line from point 2. Wherever it cuts the sensible heat factor scale, there you have to read enthalpy value. So this is 65, then 66, and this is 67. So HA is 67 kilojoule per kg of dry air. And then H2 value, this is 50 kilojoule per kg of dry air, and this is 51. So H2 is 51 kilojoule per kg of dry air. Okay, now what is asked in the question, we will see that. First we have to find supply airflow rate. Now just to have a sense of completion, we will note down values of 0.4. Okay, what is dry bulk temperature of 0.4? This is 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, and if you consider this point, it is in between 13 and 14. Okay, so this is 13, this is 14. So dry bulk temperature of 0.4, it is approximately equal to 13.7 degrees Celsius. And coil ADP, if you consider point C, this value will be, this is 10 degrees Celsius, 11. So approximately 11.2 degrees Celsius. So I'll make a note of these values. So dry bulk temperature of 0.4, TD4, it is equal to 13.7 degrees Celsius. And coil ADP, point C, it is 11.2 degrees Celsius. Next we will see what is the first question. First question is supply airflow rate. Here nothing is mentioned, so we will calculate volume flow rate of supply air, that is 0.4. Okay, mass flow rate has not been mentioned, so we will calculate volume flow rate. Okay, how to find that? We have to apply energy balance to this room. So energy in equal to energy out. M dot dA4 into H4 plus RSH plus RLH equal to m dot dA4, same mass flow rate is exiting, into H2. So I'll write down the energy balance. Okay, so first part, supply air flow rate. Supply air flow rate. This is V dot A4. So apply energy balance to room. So what I can write, m dot dA4 into H4 plus RSH plus RLH equal to m dot dA4 into H2. Okay, now we have to find values of H4 and H2 from psychrometric chart. RSH is 25 kilowatt, RLH is 5 kilowatt given in question. So we will read those values. H2 value we have already read. H4 value we will see. This is 0.4. Okay, so H4 value, this is 35, 36, 37. So H4 value is 37 kilojoule per kg of dry air. So write down these values in the equation. M dot dA4 into H4, it is 37, plus RSH 25 plus RLH 5 equal to m dot dA4 into H2, it is 51. Okay, so if you solve this equation, you can calculate m dot dA4. M dot dA4, it is equal to 2.14 kg per second. Okay, now here why unit is kg per second? Because RSH, RLH, it is in kilowatt. Okay, so kilojoule per second, unit is kilojoule per second. And this also unit is kilojoule per second. So mass unit is kg per second. Now we have to find volume flow rate. Okay, for that we require specific volume of 0.4. That we have to read from psychrometric chart. So go back to the psychrometric chart. This is 0.4 location. These are specific volume lines. Okay, this line is 0.8 meter cube per kg and this line is 0.85 meter cube per kg of specific volume. So I have drawn parallel to either of these lines passing through 0.4. Okay, and divide this. Suppose this is 0.81, 82, 83, 0.84 and this is 0.85. So approximately V4 value I am getting it as 0.827 meter cube per kg of dry air. So I'll write down that value of specific volume. So specific volume of 0.4, it is equal to 0.827 meter cube per kg of dry air. This we get from psychrometric chart. Then we can calculate V dot A4. V dot A4, it will be mass flow rate of dry air into specific volume of 0.4. Okay, so 2.14 into 0.287. Okay, so we can calculate V dot A4. It was asked in question. Okay, that value is 1.7697 meter cube per second. Now usually these values are given. Okay, standard what is followed is meter cube per minute. Okay, it is also called CMM, cubic meter per minute. Okay, so we can convert this in meter cube per minute, multiply by 60, we will get 106.182 meter cube per minute. So this is answer. Now next question, we have to find outside air sensible heat, outside air latent heat, grand total heat and ER SHF. So we will solve this in sequence. Second question, sub question is outside air sensible heat. So what is the equation of outside air sensible heat, OASH? It is equal to m dot dA1 into HA minus H2. This we have already seen the equation. Okay, now we need here m dot dA1, but what we have calculated m dot dA4. Now it is given in the question that m dot dA1 is 20% of m dot dA3. Okay, this is based on mass. Okay, here what is given in the question? Mass flow rate basis, that percentage is given. So m dot dA1 is 20% of m dot dA3, and this m dot dA3 it is equal to m dot dA4. So I can calculate m dot dA1. M dot dA1 will be 20% of m dot dA4. So I'll calculate that value. M dot dA1 is 20% of m dot dA4. So m dot dA1 value, it is 0.428 kg of dry air per second. Now substitute the values here. M dot dA1, this is 0.428 into HA. HA value we have already read. Okay, I'll write down the value 67 and H2 value is 51. So we can calculate outside air sensible heat. That is equal to 6.848 kilowatt. Next question is outside air latent heat, OALH. Okay, so what will be the equation of that? Now understand this. This is line 1 to 2. Here we have mixing, in between we have 0.3. Okay, so we have drawn horizontal from point 2, vertical from point 1. Wherever they intersect, we have denoted that as point A. So for outside air sensible heat, what is the equation? M dot dA1. Why m dot dA1? Because this is outside air sensible heat. Okay, so that is why outside air is 0.1. So what is the equation? M dot dA1 into where temperature is changing, HA minus H2. Here the dry bulb temperature is changing. Now outside air latent heat will be m dot dA1 into H1 minus HA. Here dry bulb temperature of 0.1 and point A, it doesn't change. So outside air latent heat, it is equal to m dot dA1 into H1 minus HA. M dot dA1 is 0.428, H1 is 100. This we have to read from psychrometric chart, minus HA is 67. So we can calculate outside air latent heat. This value is 14.124 kilowatt. Next question, question number 4. We have to calculate grand total heat. So we will go back to the question part. We have calculated supply air flow rate V dot A4. We have calculated outside air sensible heat and outside air latent heat. Now we will calculate GTH, grand total heat. We have already seen equation in theory. So grand total heat, it will be equal to total sensible heat plus total latent heat. What is total sensible heat? It is equal to room sensible heat plus outside air sensible heat. Here we don't consider bypass factor. So this will be equal to room sensible heat is 25 plus outside air sensible heat. We have calculated this value 6.848 plus 6.848. So value of total sensible heat, okay, this is equal to 31.9 0.848 kilowatt. Next, we can calculate total latent heat. Okay, it will be equal to RLH plus outside air latent heat. RLH is 5 kilowatt plus outside air latent heat value. Outside air latent heat is 14.124 kilowatt. 14.124. So total latent heat value is 19.124 kilowatt. Now you have to calculate grand total heat. You have to not calculate grand sensible heat factor. We have to just calculate grand total heat. So grand total heat, this is total sensible heat 31.848 plus total latent heat 19.124 kilowatt. So grand total heat, it is equal to 50.972 kilowatt. Now last question is remaining. What is that? Effective room sensible heat factor. Sub question number 5, ERSHF. So ERSHF is equal to effective room sensible heat upon effective room sensible heat plus effective room latent heat. Effective room sensible heat, this is equal to room sensible heat plus bypass factor, which is equal to 0.15 multiplied by outside air sensible heat. This value will be 25 plus bypass factor is 0.15 into outside air sensible heat. This is 6.848. So ERSH is equal to 26.02 kilowatt. Next, effective room latent heat. This will be equal to room latent heat plus bypass factor into outside air latent heat. So this value will be room latent heat is 5 kilowatt plus bypass factor 0.15 into outside air latent heat. We have calculated this value 14.124 kilowatt. Okay, so we can calculate effective room latent heat. This value is 7.11 kilowatt. Now after calculating effective room sensible heat and effective room latent heat, we can calculate effective room sensible heat factor. Okay, so substitute the values. ERSHF, it is equal to 26.02 effective room sensible heat upon effective room sensible heat 26.02 plus effective room latent heat 7.11. So we can calculate effective room sensible heat factor. This is equal to 0.785. So this is final answer. Now for the sense of completion, we will go through the question again and see what all things we have done in this question. Okay, what was given in the question? Outside conditions are given, room conditions are given, bypass factor is given. What is asked? Supply airflow rate, which we calculated using energy balance to the room. Then outside air sensible heat, outside air latent heat. This we got using this line. Okay, so if we have 1 to 2, okay, so outside air sensible heat, it will be m dot dA1 into HA minus H2, and outside air latent heat, it will be m dot dA1 into H1 minus HA. Then next question, it was grand total heat, which is total sensible heat plus total latent heat, and total sensible heat, that value is room sensible heat plus outside air sensible heat, and total latent heat, that value is room latent heat plus outside air latent heat. Okay, so if we add total sensible heat plus total latent heat, we will get grand total heat. Then effective room sensible heat factor. Here we have to consider bypass factor. Okay, so it was effective room sensible heat upon effective room sensible heat plus effective room latent heat. Okay, now what was the procedure which we followed on psychrometric chart? Plot 0.1, then 0.2, then using mixing proportion we got 0.3. Then we marked RSHF and alignment circle is there. We draw baseline, then draw a line parallel to baseline passing through point 2 wherever it cuts the saturation curve, that is point R. Then we have to adjust this line 3C in such a way that bypass factor is approximately equal to 0.15. Okay, in this way we got supply condition point number 4. Okay, so we will stop over here.